Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when the weight of our needs feels too heavy. The bills pile up, the responsibilities grow, and the dreams that once looked bright now seem distant. In those moments, fear whispers, "You don't have enough." But then comes this timeless truth from Psalm 23. 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This verse is not just a line of scripture. It is a declaration of confidence, a promise of provision, and a reminder that you are never walking alone. A shepherd's job is to lead, protect, and provide for the sheep. The sheep never worry about the next meal or the next step because they know the shepherd is near. In the same way, when you place your trust in God, you position yourself under divine care. So, what does it mean to say, "I shall not want"? It doesn't mean you will never face challenges. It means that even in your challenges, you will never be without what you truly need. You may not always have luxury, but you will always have sufficiency. You may not have all your wants, but you will have enough to stand, to rise, and to move forward. When you repeat this verse 7 times, with faith it's not just words. It becomes a spiritual declaration that shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. You begin to believe that help is on the way, that opportunities are forming, and that unseen doors are about to open. In times of financial struggle, our natural instinct is to panic or complain. But this psalm teaches a different response, to rest in trust. The same God who created the universe is not limited by your current situation. He can turn lack into plenty, emptiness into overflow, and despair into hope. Sometimes the breakthrough you're praying for begins not outside you, but within you, in your faith, in your mindset, and in your gratitude. When you start believing that God is your shepherd, you stop depending on fear and start walking with peace. You stop saying, "I don't have enough," and start saying, "My source never runs." Look at nature. The birds don't plant, yet they're fed. The flowers don't work, yet they're clothed in beauty. If God provides for them, how much more will He provide for you? That's what this psalm is all about. The certainty that divine provision flows where faith lives. Every time you repeat, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," say it like you mean it. Say it with conviction, as if you're announcing your trust to the universe. Each repetition strengthens your inner belief and weakens your fear. Each word reminds your spirit that you are guided, guarded, and provided for. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. The same shepherd who guided David through the valleys will guide you through your financial struggles. The same God who multiplied bread and fish can multiply your resources. The same God who opened the Red Sea can open the way for your breakthrough. Maybe your situation looks impossible, but impossible is only a word until God steps in. So today, choose faith over fear. Choose gratitude over grumbling. Choose peace over panic. Repeat this verse 7 times daily, not as a ritual, but as a reminder. When you say, "The Lord is my shepherd," you are declaring that you belong to a higher source. When you say, "I shall not want," you are affirming that lack has no power over you. Your breakthrough may not come overnight, but it will come, because faith never returns empty. Keep walking with your shepherd, and you'll find that your steps are guided, your needs are met, and your cup will overflow. Remember, you are not walking alone. You are walking with the one who owns it all. And when the Lord is your shepherd, you truly shall not want. Faith, it's the first currency of breakthrough. Before you ever see results in your life, before doors open, before success arrives, there is something unseen that begins the process. It's not luck, not talent, not money, it's faith. Faith is the invisible force that tells the impossible move. It's what allows ordinary people to do extraordinary things. It's what lifts you up when logic says, "Stay down." Without faith, even opportunities can pass right in front of you and you won't see them. But with faith, You can see possibility where others only see limitation. When you believe, something powerful happens inside you. Your thoughts begin to align with hope. Your emotions begin to settle in peace, and your words begin to carry authority. Faith doesn't deny reality, it simply refuses to be ruled by it. Faith looks at lack and says, provision is coming. It looks at sickness and says, healing is possible. It looks at delay and says, my time will come. Faith is the foundation of every miracle story ever told. When David faced Goliath, he didn't have better weapons, he had stronger faith. When Abraham left his home without knowing where he was going, it wasn't comfort that led him, it was faith. When Peter stepped out of the boat and walked on water, it wasn't the water that changed, it was his belief. That's why I call faith the first currency of breakthrough. Before blessings arrive in your hands, they must first exist in your heart. Before a door opens physically, it must open mentally. When you begin to think and speak in faith, you give heaven permission to move on your behalf. Many people want success, but they don't want to believe for it. They want to see change, but they still speak fear. Faith and fear cannot live in the same house. One will always push the other out. If you feed your fear, your faith will starve. But if you feed your faith, your fear will fade. Faith is not a feeling, it's a decision. You don't have to feel brave to act in faith. You just have to choose to trust. You may be tired, broke, or uncertain, but if you still say, God, I trust you, you already won half the battle, because faith is what keeps you standing when everything else is shaking. Think of faith as spiritual currency. Just like money buys you access in the physical world, faith gives you access in the spiritual world. Every prayer, every dream, every desire, faith is the transaction that brings it closer. The greater your faith, the greater your reach. When you start believing in your breakthrough, your words begin to shift. You stop saying, I can't, and start saying, I will. You stop saying, it's impossible, and start declaring, all things are possible. The universe, the people around you, and even your circumstances respond to that vibration of belief. Faith doesn't mean sitting still. It means moving forward even when you can't see the full picture. It means working while waiting, praising while hoping, and standing firm when everything says, give up. Every act of faith is a seed planted in the soil of your future. And here's the truth, faith is tested most when the breakthrough is near. The closer you are to your answer, the harder the storm may get. That's when faith becomes your anchor. It keeps you steady in the middle of uncertainty. It reminds you that the same God who started your journey will finish it. Maybe today your finances look dry. Maybe doors seem closed. Maybe you've tried and failed many times. But don't let what you see destroy what you believe. Keep your faith alive. Keep declaring, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Every time you say it, you are strengthening your spiritual currency. God never ignores faith. He responds to it. When you trust Him even in lack, He prepares abundance. When you trust Him in the dark, He prepares your dawn. Every time you choose faith, something shifts. Not always immediately outside, but always immediately inside. Faith is also contagious. When you walk with faith, others start believing too. Your confidence inspires those around you. You become a living message that says, if God did it for me, He can do it for you. So if you're praying for financial breakthrough, don't just focus on the money. Focus on your mindset. Strengthen your faith, because that is your true currency. Money can run out, but faith multiplies. Resources can dry up, but faith finds a way. Repeat this truth to yourself daily. My faith is my first currency. I invest it in hope, and it will return as blessing. Keep believing even when nothing changes. Keep speaking life even when you're surrounded by lack. Keep walking in confidence even when you don't yet see the evidence. Because faith always moves first, and then the breakthrough follows. When you believe with your whole heart, you align yourself with divine timing, divine provision, and divine favor. And soon you'll look back and realize that every delay, every test, every waiting season was preparing you for your moment of overflow. So hold on to your faith, my friend. Don't spend your energy on fear, invest it in belief. The Lord is your shepherd. He will not let you walk in lack. Your faith is the seed, your belief is the soil, and your breakthrough is the harvest that's already on its way.